Those who work on themselves work on their dreams. Those who are passionate about the future are passionate about viewing things from new perspectives. Porsche has never rested on its laurels, always challenging itself, always driving the 911 to the limits of the possible. Change doesn't call for constantly new ideas. Ideas sometimes need only minor change.
Hey guys, Raj Sangha of Cardi Security. Welcome back to the channel. Here we have our October purchase, this black on black 2004 registered Porsche 996 Turbo S. Now the reasons why I bought this particular car and the hunt for this car was covered on a previous episode which dropped on my personal channel, Raj's Garage. If you've not watched that, there's a link in the description below. Give that a watch. This particular car was bought from Ashgood Porsche. Before I bought this car from Ashgood Porsche, I carried out a car vertical history check, which checked for any mileage discrepancies, any finance outstanding, if the vehicle's been stolen, or if the vehicle had ever been involved in an accident. Obviously on this car, all clear green lights. However, check out this BMW 3 Series, which has obviously had some previous issues. As you can see from the details on the app, there's definitely an issue with the mileage. And check out these photos of where the car's been involved in a pretty severe accident. Now the Car Vertical app will check history of cars in over 20 countries worldwide. So guys, before you buy a car, make sure you do a Car Vertical history check and make sure you use the code CAS for 10% off at the checkout. Right guys, let's get into this episode and talk a little bit more about this very controversial Porsche. So guys, I am in my 993 Turbo, and what an amazing car this is. Take yourself back to 1995 when this car was released. What an amazing car it would have been then, pitted against cars such as the Ferrari 355 and the Honda NSX, bought by bankers who'd get a 100 grand bonus and go out and splash it on a brand new Porsche 993 Turbo. And that is what this car cost in the mid-90s, 90 to 100,000 pounds. It replaced the outgoing model, the 964, which wasn't very well received. The 993 variant was a better car all round, but guess what guys? Porsche were on the verge of bankruptcy.
Although a darling for the motoring enthusiasts, in the aftermath of the 964 and 993, Porsche found itself in dire financial straits, bleeding money with each model. Hemorrhaging funds, they stood at the gates of insolvency. The turn of the millennium became a make or break moment. They had to make a bold statement.
As the automotive world races towards the millennium, you have brands BMW introducing the new E46. Audi brought out the TT, which won awards and accolades everywhere. Porsche had their own fair share of ideas. And Porsche decided on a radical new design for the front end of the new 911. Let's just say it was a bit too extreme. So these radical changes didn't just stop with the external aesthetics. Porsche decided to flip the script with the heartbeat of their engines. So Porsche moved away from air-cooled into a new era, water-cooled 911s. So how was this new radical redesign met by the purists and the 911 enthusiasts? Well, let's just say the reception was rather lukewarm.
So, 2 decades later then, how's the 996 holding up today, and where does this fit into the family album?
Now, we are currently at Northway Porsche. This is not where I purchased the car from. The car was purchased from Ashgood Porsche, and Mike Ashgood of Porsche actually said to me, you know what, Raj, here are the keys. Take the car, do what you want, use it for the weekend. So I decided to bring the car here to Northway Porsche just to go over the car and ensure the car was in good health and didn't require some major components replacing, which could be quite expensive. So guys, if you've not watched the episode where Paul has a prod around the car, if you tap here, you can watch that. That's on Raj's garage. In the description below, there's a link to that as well. So I'm standing in between the previous variant of the 911 Turbo, which is the 993 Turbo, and obviously we've got the 996 Turbo S here. Now, if you look at the two cars, there is quite a big difference in terms of design and size. And obviously the biggest thing here are the lights. You know, we've got the fried egg lights here on the 996, and on the 993, we've got the standard sort of slightly laid back lights on the front wings. However, if you look at the front wings and you compare them, so if you compare the 993 wing and you compare the 996 wing, you can actually see the wings are a similar shape. And if you look here, the light is actually fairly similar to the 993 light. The only difference is obviously you've got that fried egg design and the lights look a little bit softer. You can see the car has got quite a bit bigger. Front, side, and especially the rear. On the rear as well, Porsche have moved away from that ginormous well-tail spoiler, which was even bigger on the 964 Turbo. And you've got a slightly smaller spoiler, which electronically adjusts itself and rises at about 70 miles an hour. So there you have it, guys. The last of the Porsche 911 air-cooled turbos and the first generation of the 911 water-cooled turbos. I'm going to give you an opinion right here between these two cars. Now, I've lived with this car for about 2 or 3 weeks already, so I've got used to it. For me, this is probably the best variant of 911 Turbo, full stop. I know it's quite controversial because I have a 964 Turbo, and obviously everyone who knows the 964 Turbo thinks of bad boys, which is great, but I just think the design, especially the front end of the 993 Turbos, by far the best looking Porsche. However, moving into the 996 Turbo, if we factor in this is a late 90s car, this particular model is a 2004 car, the differences between the two are just ginormous. In terms of driving appeal, this is so much better. Performance, handling, interior ergonomic design, reliability. This can be used as a daily. This probably can't be used as a daily anymore. This is more of a weekend toy. And shortly I'll go for a drive and I'll show you what makes this such a great car and a usable daily.
Before we unleash this beast on the B roads, let's tap into the wisdom of our resident blues brothers and get their take on my latest purchase.
I just noticed the front end.
Where do you think this fits with the other Porsches I have in the fleet? So guys, here they are. The Blues Brothers or the Moody Brothers. I don't know, whatever you want to say here.
We're never moody. Well, I'm not.
Well, maybe I'm going to be moody by the time you find fault with this. I don't already know. See, look, their first impressions of the front.
I just noticed the front end.
Have you ever been to a greasy calf and asked for 2 fried eggs, runny but not snotty?
No, I don't ask for that because
I
don't go to a greasy calf for one anyway. They're not that bad. Come on.
Man. It's like,
come on, guys.
Please.
I'm sure you must be warming to these.
no.
Okay, look, you know what? With age, they are getting a little bit more acceptable.
Well, look, put it this way, yeah? If you imagine the 997 that you had, the black one, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the same curvy wing as your 997. And if you look closely, there is the inner light of your 997. All they've done is this added this sort of nice curvy bit on the front.
I wouldn't say nice.
Am I selling it to you?
I wouldn't say nice. They should have just left that
I'm
and done without that.
Well, yeah, they Porsche definitely wised up on the 997.
What's the rear end look like though?
Well, are you a front end or a rear end man?
You know, everyone likes a bit of rear end, isn't it? See, the rear's not too bad because it's got that tinted top light bit.
The one thing probably letting this car down is the state of these, not the state of them, but the style of these wheels. They're really, I've never seen
these
them.
are called techno wheels, turbo techno. These are an option which was spec'd whoever purchased this car originally, and you would have paid a premium for those wheels.
Really?
Yes.
And what are you going to put back on it?
Turbo twists. Interior, guys, it's open. Check it out. Seats are comfortable. They're the hard backs.
It's pretty clean, to be fair.
It looks very tidy.
I've got 3 questions for you.
Cool.
Okay. First question is, what do you think I've paid for this car? Now, bear in mind, as I just told you, only 60 right-hand drive Turbo S's came to the market. In total, they made 600 Turbo S's worldwide and 900 and I think 63 or 53 Turbo S convertibles. So they made more Turbo S convertibles than they did coupes.
So it's quite
Very rare. One of 60, and being black on black, actually quite rare. So what do you reckon I paid for this?
Cabs at 95 and there's more made and this is more rare. 120?
120 grand.
Well, we're saying
I'd rather go and buy a 991 Gen 2
I know,
GT3.
yeah, true.
I'm going to say about 60 grand.
Okay, so it was actually up for 58 or 59k.
Okay, I'm way
and
off
I got
there.
it for 50. I got it for 52.
Wow.
Second question.
Yeah.
Where do you think this fits with the other Porsches that I have in the fleet? So, you know, 964 turbo, 993 turbo, 997 GT3. Where do you think it sits in your eyes? Higher or lower or in the middle or?
Low.
Yeah.
Boy, straight in
up low.
Straight in low.
Look, you know, the 996 never really set the world alight, did it?
It saved Porsche from bankruptcy, really.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, because in the mid-90s, Porsche were nearly bankrupt after the 993. And the Boxster was first introduced with this light arrangement.
Yeah.
And then they moved it into the 996. They sold in excess of 100,000 996s worldwide. Oh. And there's something like only 40,000.
So maybe they did set the world alight with it then.
Yeah, so this car and the Boxster saved Porsche.
It's true, amidst the declining luxury car market, Porsche introduced the groundbreaking Boxster in 1996. It burst onto the scene with its sleek design, performance, and more importantly, an affordable price tag striking a chord with motoring enthusiasts. Adding to that, some of its front half and some of the water-cooled engine will be shared with the Porsche 996, and this brought production costs down, a crucial factor in salvaging their fortunes. The Boxster and the 996 became pivotal, and their success is why Porsche is still making cars today.
The final question, I'm going to replace the GR Yaris with this car as my daily. Do you think that's a good move or a bad move? Is this a better daily than the GR Yaris?
Better to be driving a Porsche than a Toyota, right?
So we are ending on a high, guys. That's why I asked that question right at the end. Thank you very much for your time. We ended on a positive, so we've now moved away from these lights, which I think are okay. But
I suppose they're growing you, yeah.
Overall, I think the car's actually a very good deal. So now the next thing, guys, is for me to get in this car and drive it and show you how it feels and sort of get used to this car. This will be my daily going forward. I can't return it now because I've paid for it. So hopefully I've made the right choice. Let's go for a drive. .996 Turbo S, and what a car! Check out this blistering performance. Now in terms of performance over the stock 996 turbo, this has what's called the X50 pack, which gives you upgraded intercoolers, it gives you a remapped engine, you've got a reworked exhaust, short shift gearbox, but the Turbo S also has ceramics as standard. Now, comparing it to the outgoing air-cooled 993 turbo, this car is totally different. In terms of the cabin space, yes, it's slightly bigger. Now we're moving into an era where the technology had advanced so much. We've got a screen display here, which does actually work, even though it's 19 years old. You haven't got digital radio, you don't have USB, you do have Bluetooth, you've got no CarPlay or Android Auto, but you do have sat-nav, be it a map-based disc, which doesn't really work that well now. So guys, in terms of performance, 450 brake horsepower, four-wheel drive, so getting the power down is not an issue. It's up by about 35 horses on the standard 996 turbo and up by about 40 horses on the 993 turbo. In terms of power delivery, I would describe it as brutal. 0.5 bar. It is so quick, and today the roads are a little bit damp, but it's four-wheel drive, so you know this car is going to stick to the road like Super Glue 3. So this will be my new daily. It will replace the GR Yaris, which I used for 2.5 years. And why not use this as a daily? It's four-wheel drive, as I mentioned earlier. I can use it in all weathers, rain, snow. It's got plenty of space inside. It's a perfect car when you think about it for daily use. Enough power, enough usable power, reliable. Servicing, I don't think, is ridiculous from what I understand. And obviously it's been given a clean bill of health by our friends Northway Porsche. So guys, what do you think of my new daily? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Well, you know, from me, it's a thumbs up. I'm absolutely loving this car. Drop a comment below, let me know what you think. Let me know on what upgrades you would do if this was your 996 Turbo S, and if you've got a 996 Turbo or Turbo S, what upgrades have you done just to improve the drive and the performance without obviously breaking the bank? Guys, you know what you need to do. Make sure you smash the like button and make sure you've subscribed to the channel, because there's a lot more content coming your way. Palm sent me a challenge back in January 2023. Can we buy one car a month? So far, I have been successful. The November purchase has been done, and it's just now the December purchase, which hopefully, fingers crossed, will be my 992 GT3 RS. Guys, thanks for watching. I will see you on another episode, either on Cast TV or on Raj's Garage. Link to Raj's Garage in the description below. See you guys.